really excited to drive today's car. The Ford Focus RS, the current one, where Ford finally made the Focus RS they said they were going to. It's one of my favourite hot hatches in the world. Or shall I say, in the world. I am not Jeremy Clarkson. Honestly, just such a great car. Basically, I'm a massive hot hatch fan. This one is one of the hottest hot hatches. And, well, like I briefly mentioned, Ford finally kept up with their promise. Basically, when the Escort Cozz-eh went off sale, Ford replaced it with the Focus. And then they said they were going to make an RS version of the Focus, which would have 300 horsepower and 4-wheel drive. Then the Mark I Focus RS came along, and it had 212 horsepower and was front-wheel drive. Had a really clever differential, but which was apparently useless on the road. Still, not 4-wheel drive and nowhere near 300 horsepower. So then there was the Mark II Focus, which there was an RS version of, which did have 300 horsepower, but was still front-wheel drive. Then there was the Focus RS 500, which was based on the Mark II Focus RS. Very rare, 500 units, I think. 345 horsepower. Still front-wheel drive. Then with the Mark III Focus, we finally got the Focus RS we deserved. 345 horsepower, I think it was the RS 500 engine, no changes made whatsoever, and 4-wheel drive at last. And that's why I really like it, because it is essentially, Jeremy Clarkson described it as the modern Escort Cozz-eh, and he's bang on the nose with that. And I'm a massive Escort Cozz-eh fan. Where is it? How do you say it? Cozz-eh. Anyway, this is a very cool car. Electric blue, because that's the Focus RS colour. You can have it red, black, or electric blue. It's actually, I think, the first Focus RS to have a decent colour palette, because the Mark I had literally only dark blue as a colour option. I'm not even kidding. So if you see a Mark I Focus RS that's not in dark blue, someone's resprayed it. You could have the Mark II in white, green, or blue once again. And then the RS 500 was matte black. And then finally there's this, with a decent colour palette. Seriously, I don't know how Ford managed to muck up the early Focus RSs so much. It genuinely surprises me that a company that could make such good cars, especially in hot hatch-wise and, people's supercars, Escort Cozz-eh, Sierra Cozz-eh, Escort XR3, Sierra XR4, Fiesta XR2, Fiesta RS 1800, I'm a fan of it. Even the current Fiesta STs, how the hell did they manage to muck up the early Escort, not the early Escort, the early Focus RSs? Still, at least we got this one. One of my favourite cars in the world. It's a very nippy car. I'm doing motorway speeds right now, but if I stamp on the throttle, it takes off. It's very quick in a straight line. And it does 147 miles an hour, which I think is actually its real life top speed. This one's obviously tuned, but standard it does 123, and don't know about you, feel like they've done it a bit dirty with that. Anyway, this tuned one, 147 miles an hour top speed, pretty accurate to real life, and very, very quick. Stops very well as well. So acceleration and braking wise, it's certainly winning for me. I like it already. And in the corners, well, this one's running race tyres, and it's got the fully upgraded brakes. So it stops really well, turns through really well, and then you get that massive boot of power coming out the other side. It's brilliant. one of the most impressive cars I've driven in Dealership Tycoon. I am really growing to like Dealership Tycoon's Focus RS. See? A good car in real life usually tends to be made good in the games. That's really not true, to be honest. I'm just glad they made such a good car in real life good in Dealership Tycoon. Because I am really liking it right now. The one thing I don't like about this, however, is drifting. It's too grippy. I can turn in a handbrake and the back does come round, but you just end up going straight into line again. It's definitely not a drift car, which is ironic because in real life this comes with a drift button. Push it, and you drift. I think it's actually the first car to have a drift button. On older cars, the way to make a car drift would be to turn the traction control off. But in this, it's just a button, and then that disables the traction control and makes you slide. Actually, no, I think you actually keep the traction control on just so you don't end up thunking it into a wall. But, you know, this one, it's just too grippy. Should be perfect for the race circuit then. Oh dear. It's an auto. Hot hatches have been manual. Dear. Anyway, race circuit time. This will be fun. I think there's actually a Focus rally car, but that's now been replaced by the Ford Puma rally car. Shame. Right, here we go, off the line. On the race circuit in the Ford Focus RS. I think it's actually one of the first car options in Forza Horizon 4. In fact, yes it is, because it's the one in the AR12 Let's Play. Come on, little Focus. I could have taken that far narrower, but I wasn't paying attention. Fortunately, you're going so slow that you don't actually need to pay attention. It's a cheap thrill that you can actually have fun with without constantly having to go, ooh, where do I brake, etc. A 40-second lap time, but I think this is, well, it's only 42 grand to start off with, and even with all the tuning, it's still fairly cheap. It's not worth tuning cheap cars in Dealership Tycoon because the upgrades are too expensive. It's more worth it to tune the expensive ones, but I don't really care. Because the simple fact of the matter is, I like this car. It's grown massively on me. I was already slightly biased coming into it when I realised it was a Focus RS. One of my, you know, as I've mentioned, one of my favourite cars on sale right now. Oh no, wait, they've taken it off sale, haven't they? Ford have stopped making the Focus RS. Bollocks. Anyway, I just really like it. It's such a fun, peppy little car. And you don't have to be the best driver in the world to get the most out of it. So, on that bombshell, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the other Dealership Tycoon videos today. I am going to be really busy. Enjoy them.